Rachel. I joined FM in November 2011, so just over a year. I'm a full-time mum, ex-call centre manager. I'm an Amber and Four kid, and I'm a Peugeot car and A-class Mercedes winner. So my life so far with FM. I'm 26, just. Can't play the 25-year-olds and young card anymore. I'm a mummy of Leanna, who's 10, Freya at 5, and Jessica and Lydia, who are 2 years old. They're older too. I started my family very young. Having lived a nice lifestyle as a child, I wanted to give the same to my children. By 2010, me and my husband got married. He was in the army. We decided to have another baby. Just one. We had 2 already, we just wanted 1 more, perfect 3. And we got a little bit more than we bargained for. And in April we found out we were having twins. Seasonal monsters. So what happened next? We were obviously really used to having 2 incomes. My hubby was in the army and I was a call centre manager. We were both pretty well paid. It dropped to 1, with obviously me being on maternity leave. And then, obviously, money was always tight. We'd have to refuse to do social things and just live to month, and just make sure the bills were paid and we had everything we needed. It was a pretty normal, what most people like. I was saying to Becky, some of you might know as a Pretty Little Things online, she came in my car the other day and I played a game that I used to play ages ago. Now she's a green, she didn't like this, it was stress and it was worry. And we drove, and I know how far that I can get my car with the petrol in red, but she didn't know it. Now I used to do it all the time because I didn't have the cash and I knew that it was just a bit red and I could probably get a little bit more out of it before filling up. Now luckily there's only been 2 times when I've had to ring James and say, can you come and get me? But Becky was getting a pretty worried going down the motorway on the way back from Cannock the other week with my Peugeot, that it tells you how much you've got until you get to 20 miles and then it just goes blank, so it just let you guess. She was getting really worked up. I enjoyed it. 2011, my hubby had left the army by now. It was obviously hard having 4 kids at home myself. You could never depend on, where he'd be from day to day. With the army, it's family second and army comes first. So if they want you to go and live in Northern Ireland, off he goes. In 2011, I was approached about the FM opportunity by a lady called Kirsty Walsh. Now, I didn't choose to take her up on it straight away. She sent me a 5-page Word document, and I opened it, and, if anyone's listened to Ian's personality colours or Roy does the same one. I'm a red and I find it really difficult to sit and read through things. So I think I read the first paragraph and thought, I'm bored with that. So I put it away. It didn't interest me. It didn't mention money. It didn't interest me. It didn't say what I could do with my life. It was just facts and figures, and it bored me. So I put it away. At the end of November, my friend Jade had seen loads of Facebook status about FM perfumes. Kirsty was going around doing consultations in people's houses to take all the perfumes and sample them. And Jade was just being nosy really, so she invited her around and she wanted to try how good they were. She got on the phone to me that day and said, I've had this perfume laying around, I bought loads, I really like it. I might actually sell it myself, Oh yeah, she mentioned it, something about that, months ago. Didn't really bother. But I didn't want to be left behind, if your friend's going to do it, what happened if she got a really big success in it and I was left behind? So I thought I'll go and do it as well. And we both started FM. I sold 1,800 points my first 2 weeks. And in December I did 3,900 points. So about 134 bottles, selling to friends, family, people I knew, people that trusted me and were willing just to give it a go. So who did I sell to? Play areas, friends, neighbours, anyone who knocked on my door, courier, FM delivery man, Avon lady, window cleaner. I spoke to people in the school run, hairdressers, beauty shops, corner shops. Even Jehovah's Witnesses had to listen to me for a minute before they had their knocking on my door. I always have have samples by my door, and then if anyone comes, you can obviously speak to them. So I started to build a team. Now, it seems a really, really odd picture here, but it does mean a lot, and it's a big journey for myself and FM. We've all got things at home that we need to buy, and we put them behind. I had a washing machine to make it where you had to boot it. My bed was like 5 years old, but we were getting by. We didn't really need it, and it wasn't a priority. But having FM meant that I had the extra finances coming in, which I could, go and splash out 400 quid on a bed. When beforehand it just wasn't important. We would make do. We had a spring coming through on my hubby's side, but it was his side, it wasn't his side, so it didn't matter. Obviously December we started building up my own network. The commissions hadn't really started coming in just yet, but the commission from selling the products made a huge difference to the Christmas. February I made it to Pearl Orchid, and my commissions were about 1,500 a month. So we treat ourselves to a new mattress. So the income started shooting up. There is a YouTube video I watched about how £50 can make a difference to most people. Well, to me, even the little bits of money that will come in at first made a huge difference. In Scarborough, in April, I decided the month before, should we just go on holiday, and booked a couple of days away, and then met up with one of my team members and took her for a spa trip. And that month I had £3,400 that came in from FM. Bearing in mind, I'd only been in the business 5 months, it had been hard work, but obviously the money was starting to flow in. Poland, I'm not sure if any of you have actually been to Poland. The opportunity's there if you speak to your upline orchids, if you're really keen. It's an amazing weekend. I don't really remember much of it. There was lots of vodka. And it was a great opportunity to not only meet people in your team, but to meet other leaders and bond good relationships with them. Last year I went as a guest for somebody else. I hadn't yet qualified myself. This year I'm taking my own team, it's an amazing feeling. So remember in April I had that big huge bonus. The keeping the levels. If you read the incentives, that one's still on this year. And because I'd gone so quickly, I got a huge bonus. So we thought we'd treat ourselves, we'd go on holiday somewhere, and we went to the Maldives. So it was amazing. It was a week that, I didn't have to sit and do work because I've been attached to my laptop for weeks, really. So we swam with turtles, manta rays. It was amazing. It was like a dream come true. Now, as David touched on the year before, we'd gone to Pontins on a holiday, so it was, it was completely different. And something that I would have never got if it wasn't for FM. In August, had an email. I think Lucy mentioned, waking up one morning, you get an email, like, would you like to come on holiday? Really wasn't expecting, I didn't think I'd qualified. And I was invited to go to the gala in Malta. Again, a really nice experience to meet leaders who you hadn't really spoken to, and there was a lot of friendships that were made on this trip, and I think it's helped me in the last year. So this is my car last year. I've still got it now. I had so many problems with it. It's probably something that everyone has with it all the time. With an older car, there's always something wrong with it. And you know the problems with your car, but you kind of deal with them. My friends lent it this week, and she said it doesn't go into second gear, but I'm used to it. And I'd managed to qualify for the Peugeot, so now I have a brand new car, which is amazing. It has no problems with it, and I know if it does, I'll go straight back to the garage. And it doesn't cost me anything to get it fixed, which is great. I'd never had a new car, would have never had a new car without FM. I'm not the only one. If you look, we've got Diana and the Cordins, and I think David's on there. And this is over in Poland. They all drive to the picnic, and they all bring the cars. So if you ever got the experience to go there, I remember going last year and seeing all these like rows and rows of cars, people hanging out the sunroofs. It was lovely, really sunny. So my original intention to start with FM was just to earn a normal monthly wage and be able to spend time with my children, and now it's turned into a lifestyle. I decided to build a second account, and that's been at Pearl since November. I got a 1,400 bonus for getting the extra ID to 21%. So once you've built up your own team, you can then start building up a second one, and a third one, if you could get yourself to diamond if you really wanted to. You don't even need to rely on anybody else. I've got about 50 reps on my first line, and 10 of them are active, and 7 active on my husband's line. Not everybody that you recruit are going to go and work, so don't be, feeling negative if you have 50 people and you only have 5 of them are actually doing something. It's completely normal. As long as you've got those 5 people doing something, you're moving forward. I've got about 5,000 people on my team, and we take home around 2,500 a month. Now all this I do from home. I've got 4 children, so if I can, anybody can. I build my business from home. I have some business opportunity meetings at my house, but I've gone upscale now. I've been to the church across the street, and now I have them there. I meet some mums in play areas, because you've got to bear in mind, not everybody who you're wanting to bring into your business is going to have the time to be able to come to an evening meeting. Don't prejudge them, because they could know lots and lots of people. So go into a play area and meet them there, somewhere that's more convenient for themselves with children. It's hard work, but obviously it's fit into my own schedule. So a couple of pointers on how to be an orchid. Try and always be on call to your team. As Lucy said, 12 o'clock at night you can go pop round to Irina's. If you're saying to your team that you're only available for an hour every day, or never get back to them within 24 hours, they start getting worried. They need the support there. Now I have a Facebook group, just my team. I'm not sure if anybody has an upline one. If you haven't got one, make your own one, and then your team can help out each other. I know today that I can come here and away from my team, and I'll have lots of other people that'll be helping them out. Help those who want to be helped. Don't waste your time on people that you're spending so many hours with, and they're not taking anything in. Be the friend, not a boss. Most of my team I'll have on Facebook. I'll chat to them, they'll chat to me. A lot of people here I'm friends with on Facebook, and they know what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, and if they update the status, I'll comment on it. Be approachable, and if they wanted to be at work, they'd be at work. They don't want to, they're doing FM. As mentioned, plug your teams into a Facebook group. If there isn't one, make one, and enjoy it, have fun. I know that there's one Facebook group, and one of the leaders have put in it, no idle chit-chat, so no one talks. Make it sociable so they enjoy it and they enjoy coming onto it. I know my team, if I remove that Facebook group, that will be the be-all end-all to them. Their whole business will collapse in between their eyes, because they see it as part of the business, having friends and help. Work with the other orchids, attend meetings, send your team to local team meetings with confidence. I spent about nearly a year of my business in a little bubble. I didn't speak to any other orchids. I was told not to deal with other people, and I listened. And after the Malta trip, I broke through, and I'd not really dealt with David before, and he's helped me a lot. And since then, it's opened so many opportunities for me to people that aren't even in my team. Ian and Bruce and Diana, who usually I wouldn't have dealt with. In network marketing, you keep usually in your own teams. But now I work with all of them, and I know that I can help them out, and in return, that they'll help me out. I know that I've got people in Southend-on-Sea. I'm nowhere near them, but they'll go and pop and see Roy or David. So make sure you utilise the orchids, even if they're not in your team. They're there to help out. And be positive. I know it's not always possible, but always filter upline, never downline. So poor David always has me on on Facebook, having a moan to him. And then he'll preach some Jim Rohn to me and tell me it's the way it is and not to worry. But always, filter upline and never get your team negative. If there's a problem that's going on in your life or a problem that's going on in your team, don't tell your team everything's fine and happy and the business is great. Don't worry them. Just always speak to someone above you and they'll be able to help you out. So thank you for listening. I'm sorry if I've overrun.